Welcome back, Sports Underground. Time for the two biggies in the Twin Cities sports scene, Twins and Vikings. We'll start with the Twins a little bit here. Last time we talked, we said they had about 2 weeks to kind of make or break themselves. Let's turn into about 6 weeks since the last time we talked. And pretty exciting June, getting back 11 games that they were down the month before, from 16.5 games to 5.5 the other night before the 2 losses last night, and all of a sudden the Twins are relevant again.
Yep, the resurgence has been impressive because I remember a couple of weeks ago I was saying, stick a fork in them, I'm not even watching them because there's nothing here to see.
Right.
You know, it was an absolute, it was a mess. Now we're starting to get some people back, some people healthy. Mauer's playing first base, that's maybe something to talk about. He's making it look okay. He's making it look hard.
Yeah, but he's made the plays.
Look, maybe Jesus can do it. Hallelujah. You know what I mean? He can do anything he wants to do.
Right, and Joe Mauer's going to hit a little better, up to 290 going into today from a paltry 220, just a few weeks ago when he was on the DL. So a little sign of life. Morneau with the neck surgery. Looks like he'll be back sometime in August. Span and Kubel both getting sent to Rochester. They're a couple of weeks. I think Denard was on the radio this morning saying that he's down there for 2 weeks. They have a plan to get him to play 5 innings back-to-back, skip a day, play 7 innings. They're kind of on the mend. All of a sudden, Delman comes back. He's been hitting the ball a little bit. You don't want to say we have too much talent because I hate it when people say that about the Twins. But all of a sudden, you kind of got some log jams with Ben Revere playing as well as he has. Denard's going to come back and take that job away. Do you take Delman Young out of the outfield? Is he DH every other day? But you have Kubel, who's also DH. And then you've got the best DH on the roster, Mr. 596 home runs and counting, Jim Thome, looking to knock out his 600 here within the next couple of weeks.
Yep. A lot of things to digest there. One, I like keeping Ben Revere in the lineup for his tangibles as far as the base running is phenomenal. Plays hard, plays great defense, is able to get on base pretty well. But you have Denard around, Delman around for the right-handed bat.
Right. Well, you talk about Ben Revere doing all the intangibles. Isn't that what Denard's span should be? I mean, should Denard's span not be the hard-working, hustling, make all the defensive plays? Plus, he has a little bit of a bat. He actually can hit a home run where he also has an arm that he actually can throw somebody out. Where Ben Revere, if you single to the outfield, let the guy go home from first because that guy's not going to throw me out. Right. I mean, his arm is that weak.
Get a little bit of a noodle arm. I don't think if he hits 5 or 6 home runs a season, I think that'd be
pretty impressive right now.
It would be right now, yeah. But the difference between Delman Young last year and this year, I think you and I can both agree, is night and day.
Yeah.
I think he tried a lot harder last year, and this year it seems like he's coasting along a little bit more.
He thought he figured it out at the end of last year.
Reverted back to the Delman of old, where we were kind of complaining, where's the guy that we traded for and that was drafted this high and had all this potential, and all of a sudden he found out that you have to. I think it seems like you have to work to be a Major League Baseball player. It doesn't just get handed to you.
There's a reason that the most successful hitters are out 7 out of 10 times. You get on base or get hits 3 out of 10 times. Tells you it's a pretty hard sport to master.
Yep.
You're right. You can't go in trying to half-ass it. Pardon my French, but that's the way. You're right. It does seem like Delman kind of just lopes around and, hey, if I get a hit, great. If I don't, but you need Delman to get on board because you need that right-handed bat. Because Kadire and Delman Young are all we have to separate Morneau, Mauer, Kubel, Thome. A lot of left-handed bat. You put a left-handed starter against us, and we're not so formidable.
Okay, who do you trade? First question, and who do you trade for? I think trading for obviously is pitching.
Well, relief pitching. We've seen the Matt Capps experiment has gone completely awry. He came in the other night and gave up a home run again when there was no pressure on him. You've got Nathan back closing, so all right, I'll buy it for now. I'll go along with the Joe Nathan experiment, trying to get back to where he was. Perkins, like we talked about before, the complete and utter surprise of the season. He continues to dominate and baffle hitters. But when your starters, who until yesterday were 10-0 in their last 16 games as starters, they've been going 7-8 innings. We're going to get to a stretch where we're only getting 5 or 6. Where do we go from Scott Baker to get to Perkins? Because we can't wear Perkins' arm out. Look what happened to the Guerrers and the Cranes. They broke down end of years. Matt Guerrer had 70 appearances a year. And come playoff time, we couldn't count on the guy. So I think getting, if not another left-handed reliever, because Maharis is a joke. You know, either comes in and walks the first guy or goes 3-2 and maybe gets bailed out. And we have nothing from the right-handed side in that bullpen, with the exception of a disintegrating Caps and on the men Joe Nathan. That's where I start with that move. So now talking about where do we trade to get there? It's gotta be. Does
Caps have any trade value right now? Caps?
No, he lost every trade value you had with him. He's a throw-in now.
That's what I was
he
gonna
maybe
say.
gets you, if you're looking at getting a reliever who's an 8
Yeah.
for, let's say, Jason Kubel, you throw in Caps, you get a 9 or a 10 guy now. But right now he's just a 3. You might as well just keep him, because I think you're just gonna, you gotta hope he can get you a spot out. You know, coming to face a right-handed hitter in the 7th, maybe he gets one guy out, but you can't count him for anything more than that right now. He's a complete disaster. But Kubel, I think, is the guy who has some trade value right now, because he was hitting over 300 before he went on the DL. He's the left-handed bat who's a free agent next year. You can probably afford to get rid of, because you're not going to get rid of Jim Thome, because you want him here for the home run record, plus the leadership in the clubhouse. You know, everyone in the world will tell you he's probably the greatest guy that's ever stepped on a baseball field, personality-wise, just a great guy to have around. You can't trade Delwin. We need that right-handed bat. You can't trade Cuddyer, even though he's going to be a free agent, because he's sort of the glue that always holds the ship together. Whenever Morneau, Mauer, or both of them are gone, Cuddyer's always there. He's always ringing the bell. He brings his bucket. He plays every day as hard as anyone. First base, second base, right field.
The versatility alone keeps him here.
Right, and he's almost hitting 300. He was an all-star this year. Congratulations, Mr. Cuddyer, on that. But right now I see Kubel as the only guy, maybe Liriano, because he also is going to be a free agent at the end of next year. And maybe it's a good time to move him before he disintegrates some more, too.
I agree. I think we should have moved Liriano even a while ago and maybe got something for him, because I don't think his trade value is at its peak.
But there's still that potential that I'm still amazed with, every time he goes on the field, he could throw a no-hitter.
Yeah.
But he also can give up 3 home runs and walk 8 guys.
We're not living in 2006 anymore when he was good.
Right. You're right. And you're right. I'm guilty of that. I keep waiting for that Liriano to come back. And he's not. You're right. He's not.
I am too. He's not coming in that door.
No, you're right. And we do have a depth of starting pitching. We still have Slowey in the minors, who the Twins, very frustrated with Kevin Slowey's attitude. He's went down to Rochester and pretty much doesn't care if he's a Twin or not. He's asked to be traded.
Okay.
Right.